John Mateer completely changes the complexion of how we should all view Oklahoma football. Get a win last night in Norman, final score Oklahoma 24, Michigan 13. I want us to have a conversation around what I just said about John Mateer. We'll unpack it right now. Before we do that, though, make sure you subscribe right here, Oklahoma fans. Y'all been dialed into this show for a minute, even before we got to On 3, so we appreciate you for that. But if you haven't yet subscribed, no time like the present. I think there's going to be a lot to talk about with your Sooners here over the course of these next few months. So make sure you're subscribed. Again, follow on Twitter, Instagram, at JD PicKell. Let me know your thoughts on what you saw from the guy last night. Because here's my thing. The conversation around Oklahoma going into the season was as follows. Think they're better. Think they got a guy in John Mateer. Think that defense is going to be in a good place. But that schedule. I mean, you play Michigan week 2. Then you got the rest of the SEC. I don't know. It's going to be tough. And the schedule's still tough. But from what I saw last night with John Mateer, putting a blue check mark next to everything positive we said about him as a football player and as a leader last night against Michigan, it's only week 2. We got a 2-game sample size, but I'll tell you this, man. The Twitter quarterbacks are down bad. The Twitter quarterbacks that were saying Mateer wouldn't translate from Washington State to the SEC to Oklahoma, just down bad right now. Because what I saw last night from John Mateer from Oklahoma is as long as that dude's in the lineup for you, as long as he's pulling the trigger for you, you can legitimately win any game. And that sounds a little bit hyperbolic, maybe hot takey, whatever. It's just genuinely how I feel. I don't really care who agrees with that. The football stuff of this is obvious for John Mateer. He's an upgrade based on what you had last year. The +1 run game thing is very exciting if you're an Oklahoma fan. That's just a fancy way to say you get an extra blocker against the defense when Oklahoma runs the football with John Mateer. I think you can attack every part of the field with John Mateer too. The arm talent. We saw him just planting footballs out there to Deion Burks. And it wasn't just the fact they were down the field. It was the fact that they were, the width of those throws was interesting. It's all the way on the tick mark of the sideline, just absolutely layering the football, making that defense stretch. It's exciting. You got to defend every single blade of grass when you play this Oklahoma team because of what he can do with his arm. I think he elevates the playmakers around him. Jaren Kanak, tight end for you last night. Hadn't played a snap at tight end before this season. I think Jaren Kanak's a really good athlete. I think he's probably put in the work to get those hands right, as he's mentioned in different interviews over the course of this offseason, for those of y'all catching my drift with some electric quotes. But John Mateer, when he's throwing the football for you, when he's putting it over the linebacker in front of the safety and putting it in a catchable spot, probably helps a little bit for a one Jaren Kanak, making that move from linebacker to tight end. The continuity in the system, you see how comfortable he is. He was out there just looking almost Cam Ward-ish. I don't want to compare him to Cam Ward because they're both Washington State guys, and I see the parallels there. But, I mean, just in terms of demeanor, just so calm, knew where he was going with the football, negative play happens, shakes it off. He wasn't, flat foot, not even stepping into the throw level of casual last night, which I think is fun. I think Cam Ward's one of one in that category. But, again, the continuity, the comfortability in the system, the even keelness, you see all that on a football level with John Mateer. But I think the real change agent – to me, when I look at John Mateer and what makes him different for Oklahoma and why I think they have a chance in every single game going forward, is the way he changes, I think, just the personality and how Oklahoma views themselves. We said it in our reaction video for the Oklahoma-Michigan game in and of itself. If you haven't watched that, go check it out. But, I think he changes the belief system internally in that building for Oklahoma. It's kind of like whenever you have your friend join a CrossFit gym, everything about them changes, dude. They can't stop talking about CrossFit. Their lingo changes. They're talking about clean jerks and competitions and AMRAPs and just dude, what are you talking? You're acting totally different. You've been in a CrossFit gym for a week. It's yeah, this is who I am now. John Mateer, as your quarterback now, this is who you are. You have different swagger. You have different confidence. There's different competitive fire. That entire team last night, their temperature was set by John Mateer, from what I could gather. Now, does Brent Venables throw fuel in that fire? Sure. Is that defense playing at a Brent Venables brand of football? Sure, all that's true. But I think it starts with John Mateer, and it goes through John Mateer. And it was obvious they love that dude, man. He changes their personality, changes their temperature. Oklahoma is different with him pulling the trigger. Make no mistake about it. And if that's how you're going to operate with number 10, I think every single game is winnable for you. Now, I did not just say Oklahoma is going to go undefeated. I did not just say Oklahoma is going to win the SEC. But I am telling you, in every single game they play, I think they have a chance, and that's all that matters. Because I don't believe now, if you gave truth serum to a lot of guys in that locker room a year ago with the different offensive regime that was there last season, I don't think you always feel that way. That's not knocking the different regime, but I think that needs to at least be mentioned. There's takeover potential with John Mateer, plus that defense. Like, I am very, very high on Oklahoma. It feels a little bit victim of the moment-ish because they got to do it consistently. They got to have more answers around John Mateer. All true. I'm just saying I think those things will translate. Intensity, leadership, run the football, defense, all those things around John Mateer. Like, Oklahoma's going to be a wagon, and John Mateer is the reason why. So, Oklahoma fans, let me know in the comment section and on the socials. Again, Instagram, Twitter, @JudyPicKell. Follow me there. Just overall thoughts, feelings, vibes after last night's massive win over Michigan to get the year rolling. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Caden Smith, the ones and twos. We will keep this party rolling. We will see y'all next time.